Time now to hear the third episode of 6 from Bill Ananra in his story about his time in prison, during which he broke a 20-year heroin habit. How I Slayed the Dragon, Episode 3, 25,550 days.
Hi, it's Biller again. Hope you guys are alright. So where I left the story last time was, I was starting this course on A-Wing, the Peace Education Programme, or PEP for short. As I arrived in class, there were 8-9 prisoners from various wings, and I noticed a couple of familiar faces. I was actually the last one in. I was greeted by a volunteer, a lady I now know as Caroline, who gave me some worksheets, a pen and some paper. She asked if I would like a hot drink and biscuit. Would I? Of course I would. What's more, there was hot chocolate and penguin bars. As you know, that's a win-win. So that was a good start for the course. There was a brief introduction, and then we all watched videos about appreciation. The session lasted about 90 minutes with another coffee break in the middle and more biscuits. There were gaps between the videos where you could talk and give your thoughts if you wanted to. Anyway, I remember I was sat at the back and kept quiet for that first session. I was just chilling, watching the videos. I wasn't really paying attention, but I couldn't help picking up on a question that was asked in one of the video clips. And I want to ask you, who's listening, that question now. In an average lifespan of 70 years, how many days do you think we get to live? So how many days do you get if you live for 70 years? Well, I'll give you a few seconds, but just off the top of your head, what do you reckon? 1,000,000? 100,000? 50,000? Are you ready? If you've worked it out or not, I'll tell you. It's only 25,550 days. Can you believe that? That seemed crazy to me. I don't know about you, but I thought it would be a lot more than that. Maybe the coffee had just kicked in, but my attention really perked up at that. The message I got was to make the most of each day. The rest of the session flew by, and before I knew it, I was back on Beirut. What that guy had said on that video clip stuck in my mind. As soon as I got back to my pad, I started working out how many days I had left. I took away my age, and I also wrote off what I thought was going to be the rest of my sentence, which I thought was going to be about 10 years, serve 5. And I worked out I had just over 10,000 days left. And I'll always remember lying on my bunk that evening. I started to feel a sense of urgency. I had to start getting busy and make the most of my time. Then I started thinking, why am I writing off my prison time? Thinking I can only make a change once out. I should try and make a real change starting from now. This was my first light bulb moment with PEP. Within a few hours of that first session, I began to understand and appreciate the time I had to serve actually belonged to me, not to my jailers or to the justice system. The fact is, even in jail, I have a choice over how I use my time. The course was on Thursdays, and next week couldn't come fast enough, especially with the brews and biscuits on tap. So I was looking forward to my second PEP class. It was going to be on inner strength, and I figured I needed some of that, with all that was happening, especially with reducing the meth. I hadn't been clean in over 20 years. If there was ever a time for it, this was it. When I went to these PEP classes, it helped me in so many different ways. It made me realise I had the strength to change no matter what situation I was in. The message was simple, yet so deep. Soon my padmate got transferred to another prison. I guess Theresa May was shipping him back to India. In the space of 4 weeks, I had 3 different padmates. A bit of a mixture, 1 Russian, 1 Albanian and 1 English. Each situation had its challenges. Nothing I couldn't deal with. I just kept busy and had a good routine. Soon enough, I became an education mentor, and there was more good news. I was now down to 14 mil of meth. I really looked forward to going to Pep each week, and things were falling into place. I had a good job, I had money on my books, I got my enhanced, and it was all good. I was nice. Soon enough, I got a new padmate, Mo. He was an older guy, like a big brother. He was also a trusted red band prisoner. He didn't smoke, take drugs, or get involved in wing politics. He inspired me to push myself. Anyway, he must have seen something about me and thought we'd get along. I'll always remember that time with Mo. He gave me no stress, no problems, and encouraged me to get things straight with my family. Every pep workshop seemed to give me more focus and determination to keep reducing off the meth. I felt so inspired. It gave me the courage to get through to the following week. Officer Mac sat in on all the classes and seemed to enjoy them too. He asked me if I'd like to help organise the course with the volunteers. I felt a bit uncomfortable as I'd never done anything like that before. But I wanted to, so I said yes. With Christmas approaching, it was as crazy as ever on Beirut. There were plenty of hooch flying around along with a constant flow of spice. One Saturday, after canteen, there were 10 code blues. Sadly, one guy who I was mentoring in maths was one of them, and as a result found himself on basic. He was a great kid, and I thought the pep might help him, so I asked if he wanted to come. He was reluctant, but when he heard about the chocolate bars and the brews, he soon changed his mind. He started coming every week and managed to give up the spice. What I saw happening to people on the pep was truly amazing. At first, like me, they'd come because they were glad to get off the wing. Often people couldn't concentrate for the first session or two. They had zero attention span and could get pretty disruptive. Then they'd settle down and begin to get something out of it. So by New Year 2019, I was clean. I'd been facilitating some pep sessions. I also had other roles. I was the health and well-being rep, the Giving Time ambassador, that involved helping prisoners with voluntary jobs on release. That was every Thursday morning, and in the afternoon I was facilitating pep. Thursdays really broke up the week nicely for me. I had a court date on the 28th of January 2019. As the big day approached, surprisingly, I wasn't too stressed. I felt in a good place. With all the courses and mentoring I'd been doing, I had a lot of references to show in court. I'd even started rebuilding family ties, which I'm still doing today. 3 days before court, my solicitor came to see me. When he came in, he gave me a big hug. He said I was looking great. As usual, it was good to see him. In fact, I'm still in touch with him now. We sat down and I remember how he put a piece of paper face side down on the table and pushed it towards me. He didn't say anything, but he had a smile on his face. I turned it over and I looked at it. I saw the CPS logo at the top and read what it said. 2 of the charges were being dropped. That's possession of a shotgun and shortening of a shotgun, both due to a lack of evidence. That was a great relief, as you can imagine. Somehow it made me feel more certain about the choices I'd been making to turn my life around. I'll continue with my journey next time and tell you what happened in court. I don't know how many days you think you have left, but for me, when I think about it, it doesn't seem a lot. You may think it's easy for me to say, but the point is we need to enjoy each day. We're alive today, so find something good in it. I'll catch you next time.